Page 102, this is number 2 at the bottom of the page. I'm going to go through the process I used to learn a piece of music. This has some interesting things going on we need to talk about. Look it over, it's 2 lines long. The clef signs, at least to start, are treble and bass clef. The key signature has 1 flat, so it's either in the key of F major or D minor. If I look at the last measure, it's here. D minor, I'm guessing we're in D minor. Okay. Take it one hand at a time, make sure I can get all this because we're moving around a little bit. Right hand is here. And it's 1, and then 4 on that one. Just bring it up. Don't move the hands. Keep the other fingers where they are, because you need 3rd finger here. So it's again 1 and 2 and. See, ideally, when you use a black key, the first choice is you're going to use the same finger on the black key as the white key. I found that works out on a lot of cases, but you have to consider the music and what's needed. And I just used the 5th finger here. I don't want to use it again here because I want to connect the notes. So I have to use 4th finger. But I'm still going to use 3rd because I didn't move where I'm going to use 2nd here. I stayed here, I just reached up. Now in the 2nd measure, they give you the natural sign in parentheses. Remember, that's called a courtesy sign. It's a natural anyway. You don't need it. It's good. I don't want you to get into the feeling that, well, they didn't give me that sign, so it must still be a flat. No. They didn't have to give you the sign. It's a natural. So, 3rd measure. And again, in the 4th measure, they gave you another natural. You don't need it, because that flat from before is only good for that measure. It's not a tied note. If it were a tied note, you'd hang on to it, then it would cross the measure, but it's not. It's here. It's not tied. There's no curved line connecting them. However, measure 5 will want to go up here. Well, isn't that fun? We'll go from here to here, just like that. I can't connect that. There's nothing wrong with the fingering in the book. It's okay. You can do that. You can just move up. You gotta look down. But I'd still like to connect the notes. So, what I'm going to do is called a finger substitution. Some people love them. Some people hate them. Organ players have to do them a lot, and I really like it. I use them a lot. It lets me feel the flow of the notes, the overall flow, whether it's melody, counter melody, or what it is. When I can connect things with the fingers. So I'm going to play in measure 4. I'm going to play it with 5, and then immediately put thumb on it, because that's easy to do. You scrunch up and put thumb on it. You could use some other finger, but it's easiest with thumb. While I'm holding it down, I put a different finger. I substituted a finger, and most of the time you'll do it immediately. Get in the habit of that, because sometimes you don't have a lot of time. So. But when I do that, now I can go ahead and use the little finger here. I got to scrunch up. That's fine. Here. Here, but I connected it. And then going from measure 6 to 7, just reach down. Hopefully your hand's big enough you can do that. You really need to be able to do that here. So you come back, because you moved around a little bit. Eventually, it would be nice if you could actually get to where you can do this with this moving in this piece without looking at the keyboard, where you can hear, you can feel this substitution and scrunch up a little bit, and then when you come down, you can feel that. It's okay to look if you need to. It's just nice to eventually feel that. Okay, let's see what the left hand's up to. It's got block chords here, and then I want you here. I don't recommend it. Thumb doesn't have to do all that. So I'm going to use 2nd finger. I mean, it's there. This way it'll stay out here. That's basically what you're doing. When you get to measure 5, you got to lift up here. And then again, I'm going to use the 2nd finger on the D flat. They're giving you courtesy signs again. You don't need them. They're naturals anyway. And then last 2 measures, you're here, down. Just, you're moving. Try and get the notes down at the same time. You just lower the hand down, let the wrist collapse a little bit. Stay relaxed. Yeah, you're moving around a little bit. So then we try and put the hands together and see what happens. Now when I first put the hands together, again, I might hesitate all over. I don't care. I'm just trying to figure out how the fingers are working together. Here, we're here, and then here, and then here. Get it? Now on measure 4, I'm here. So I do that first. Even before I play the second beat, I've done that. And then, see, this way I'm not moving both hands at the same time. If you do what they want you to do, you gotta move both hands at the same time. A lot of times in piano we have to. It's a good skill to have. But if it at all possible, I don't. I move one hand at a time. This way I've done that because I've already moved the right hand. Now it's ready. And then I just move the left hand. And then coming down, I'm going to reach here and I'm going to move the left hand. Here. So move the left hand around, but the right hand. So if I can figure out a way where I can just move it one hand at a time, I will. Now once I put the hands together, then I go back over it slowly, carefully, a few hundred times or whatever, and get rid of the hesitations. And if it's a certain measure or whatever that's causing the problem, then focus on that. Don't keep, I messed up in measure 4, so I'm going to go back to the beginning and try it again. No, please don't. That's a very inefficient way to practice. You waste a lot of time playing what you can already play. When you're first learning a piece, you need to focus on what you cannot play. And then you go back and put it all together. Once I have that, then I put in the articulation. We have the phrasing in the right hand. In the left hand, you pretty much just try and connect it. You can't connect the chords, but pretend you can. So I'm going to lift up in the right hand between measure 2 and 3. And lift up. I'm lifting up in the right hand between the rest, like taking a breath. So you're cutting the one note at the end of the phrase a little bit short, so you get time to lift up. And that's the only articulation they're suggesting. And we get the dynamics, mezzo forte, moderately loud. The measure 5, you're up to loud, and then mezzo forte, and you got a hairpin to go down to soft or moderately soft. They don't tell you how soft to get. You feel it. So the right, whatever you think moderately loud is, these chords need to be soft. Because if you play in the same, the chords drown it out. Ugh. It's amazing how many pianists, when they just play both hands the same, and they're not really listening. They're just trusting the piano to do it. If I hit the right notes, the piano will take care of it. Though it won't. Listen to what you're doing, and this is not the sound we're after. I want this. This is very light. Okay. Measure 5, you're loud. This is still soft. And then the last 2 measures, you come down. Most of that's done in there. And the left hand is out of the way. Speed on Dante is just a casual stroll. You're walking along and you have a retard at the end. I don't do a very good job of it, but try and get these notes down at the same time. You're lowering the whole hand down and let the wrist clasp stay relaxed. Just because you're trying to do this, you don't tense up. Stay relaxed. Remember the natural accents. The left hand's pretty much playing on them. 1, 2. Feel the natural accents. Let the wrist clasp a little bit on them too if you want. Once you can play this okay with no hesitations, at least slowly, then come back to the video and let's play it together very slowly just to check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do louds and softs. I can't slow down because the metronome won't slow down. I'll give us 4 counts. 1 and 2 and ready and go and 1.